So it's official. Facebook is no longer a social media platform. All right, so what am I talking about? You'll find out in just a second. In this video, I'm very excited to share the truth about Facebook. Everybody talks about Facebook as a social media platform, as a giant in the social media world, when actually the truth is now out on Facebook. It's not actually a social media platform at all. They are an advertising platform, period. That's all there is to it. Everything that they do is designed to get your eyeballs to look at their ads. And here's the proof of it. QUITS.com is quoted in their article about Mark Zuckerberg getting into more of finance with Facebook Pay as saying that social media is not even the main part of where they make their money. So Facebook annually makes about $56 billion a year, right? But 98% of that $56 billion is in advertising revenue. So are they a social media platform? Are they making 98% of their revenue or even 70 or 80% of their revenue through social media? Or are they an advertising medium, an advertising agency making most of their money off of advertising? Oh, and by the way, they happen to run Facebook and Instagram, small social media concerns that help get the word out about the ads that they sell. So technically, Facebook, and not even technically, just common sense, says that Facebook is no longer a social media platform. That is not their focus at all. In fact, it's kind of curious that it feels like there's no focus with Facebook anyway, with all of the different functions and features they offer now. They're trying to be everything to everyone. But the fact of the matter is, when you're doing an investigation about a company or a person, the catchphrase that always works is to follow the money. Where does the money go for Facebook, and where does it come from? It came from advertising revenue. Now, the interesting thing about the article that Quartz published on Mark Zuckerberg's direction now is that he's moving more and more into finance. We know that they tried to do cryptocurrency with Facebook, and that didn't really do too well, at least not yet so far. It might in the future, but at this point, it's still kind of yet to be determined. But now Mark Zuckerberg is offering Facebook Pay, which means that he's starting to offer more and more services that resemble a bank. Now, something to keep in mind with that is the money is always in the money. Bankers have known that, stock markets have known that, financial investors have known that. The fact of the matter is, if you really want to make money, then you've got to be working in the financial industry. Well, now it appears that social media platforms are starting to get the hint too. He's finally made enough money through his advertising agency that he's now going to offer banking services to his clients, which are Facebook users, Instagram users, all of the different platforms that he owns, that he can now offer these financial services to and get 1% here or 0.5% there or 2% here. How long before you have Facebook mortgages, Facebook loans, Facebook credit cards? You watch. The money is always in the money, and Mark Zuckerberg is no fool. He's still the whiz kid that everybody loved growing up, right? And now he's coming up with more and more ideas to draw this huge community of people and all the attention that he's got on Facebook and Instagram into revenue generating resources, streams of revenue that make money for the company constantly. And if you're already on Facebook, then you know what I'm talking about. Now, don't you hold your breath just yet, because Facebook already is a little bit more than it should be as far as my personal opinion. The functionality is becoming clunky. Facebook Pages has never worked right. It still to this day does not actually function properly. And they're constantly adding all of these other functions, and it's very laborious for the computer to download it. It's a really script heavy platform. There are so many things going on. And now, of course, you've got competition from not just YouTube or even Instagram, which they own, or Snapchat, but you've got TikTok really taking off. And they actually have cleaned up the Vine model, which couldn't make any money, and now is starting to turn into their own advertising agency. Now, isn't it interesting that all of these platforms pose as social media platforms, but really what the goal is with all of them is to be able to sell advertising space. And that is always the truth of media. Media is always advertising revenue driven. Even old TV channels, or when they had soap operas and they had put on these TV shows just so they could sell Palmolive soap to housewives in their houses. So remember something, when you sign in to Facebook or Instagram and you want to become an influencer, or you want to be a YouTube celebrity, or when you want to even just stay in touch with your friends, you're agreeing to their privacy policies and you're agreeing to their terms of use. And so understand what it is that you're agreeing to. Those terms and those contractual agreements with you to share information are for an advertising agency. And so every chance they get, they're going to take every piece of information you give them and sell it to somebody else, or sell services back to you. Now that's fine. I mean, it's really fun to be able to talk with your friends and see what's going on and post pictures and all that. It's a lot of fun. Just be aware of who you're actually dealing with. You're not really dealing with Facebook, the social media company. What you're dealing with is Facebook, the advertising company. And that's true of all social media. Their goal as a platform in any form is always to get eyeballs on what they're doing, just like we're doing with these videos. Just by explaining this in this video on YouTube to you. Get eyeballs on us so that we can then sell you services and conveniences that maybe you didn't know you needed, or maybe you do need, and we're just able to help provide it. So that's a really good example of how the world is changing again in social media, but in the world in general and technology in general. So for our richest you, I hope you enjoyed this video. And in fact, here's our sales pitch. If anybody out there would like to learn more about money and how money works and how to bring more money into your life and how to get a control of your life financially, we have a great course for you called The Richest You, Mastering Money. Check the links down below. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and definitely subscribe so you can keep up to date for every time we put up a new video. So let's have a nice round of applause for Facebook finally coming to grips with reality, which is they're not really a social media platform. You're actually an advertising agency. And congratulations to Mark Zuckerberg for the intelligence and the foresight to start to move into finance. Maybe you'll soon have a Facebook stock market. Wouldn't that be exciting?